Today, we're gonna make this stylish clock out of acrylic and veneer. Stick around to see how it's done.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
So I have this adhesive birch veneer. It's got a sticky back here, and that I'm going to cut the clock face out over on the laser engraver. First, I'm going to temporarily attach it to a piece of board because it's a little curly and I want it to lay flat as we're cutting it out. And since that doesn't seem to be working, I'm going to tape it down. So I got the files loaded up on my computer, I got the computer hooked up to the laser engraver. Here's the piece that we're going to cut out. I'm going to set this in the laser over here off camera. I did a little test to see what the perfect power and speed would be for this particular material. So let's cut this clock out. So now that that's cut out, I'm gonna put a quick coat of polyurethane on it. I found this awesome piece of orange acrylic at a thrift store recently, and I'm gonna use this as the back of the clock. I'm using double-sided tape to hold it down to the wasteboard, and I'm just gonna cut a little 5-inch circle out of here. So I got these really cheap clocks off of Amazon that I'm going to gut and use the parts for. So the reason I bought the full clock instead of just the mechanism is because I also want the glass that's in there for some future projects. Secret future projects. So I got the front piece of acrylic and then the 2 back pieces, and this will allow room for the mechanism to go here. So now I'm just going to stack them up and glue them together using some CA glue. And then for this wood veneer that we cut earlier, just going to peel back the adhesive. So now I'm going to take this over the disc sander and sand down the edges so it's nice and smooth along here. So now I'm going to drill a hole in the center here for the clock mechanism. So what I think I want to do is take the hands and wrap them around the edges for an added design effect. So I'm just going to take it and then bend it right over. And then we'll snip that extra off right there. The trick is to bend it so they don't touch, so they don't interfere with each other. And we got some good clearance there. And for the second hand, I'm not gonna bend it over, I'm just gonna snip it off. All right, so here's what we have so far. I'm going to take the waist piece from the back here and make that the base. So I think what I wanna do is I wanna have this sit on the base, sort of like that. So I'm gonna grind this part flat and then almost dropped it, but I did not. And then we'll glue it right on there like that. All right, so I'm just gonna set a piece of wood in here and use it as my fulcrum. Is that the right word? Just gonna rest it on there and use that to get my flat bottom. Mixing up some 5-minute epoxy here. That was the last thing I wanted to happen. We'll hold that down with a hold fast. Then maybe we can lean it up against there. Oh yeah, that'll do. That'll work just fine. All right, so I'm just gonna let that sit and dry for a little bit and hopefully that holds. I think it will, should be fine. Change of plans. I didn't think this through. I did not think this through. I should think things through a little bit more. As the hour hand would come down, it would interfere with the base. So I need to trim the hour hand down a little bit until I get enough clearance. Probably gotta trim it down to about right there. So now it clears. So let's try this again. All right, that's gonna do it. It's sitting flat now. The minute hand is going to clear everything. We're looking good, we're looking real good. So I really love the way this came out. I love how the hands wrap around the sides. It's just really cool, stylish, kind of mid-century modern to it. Love it, love it, love it. So yes, I did make this with a CNC and a laser cutter. You don't have to have those tools to make this. You could easily make this with a scroll saw. I don't have a scroll saw. You have to use what you got. There's an old auto racing phrase that goes, run what you brung, which means use what you have. So use the tools that you have to have fun and experiment. I love making clocks because there's so much you can do with them. You can get really creative, you can get totally wacky. You can make useless clocks, you can make beautiful clocks, elegant clocks. You can totally art out on making clocks. And so I had a lot of fun making this, just really like the way it came out. The reason I made this is because I needed to make a prototype. I want to make a bunch of clocks for an upcoming craft show, and I thought I would experiment with this. Now that I know that it works, now that I know what obstacles I'm gonna run into, I can bash out a whole bunch at one time. So what I might do for the clocks for the craft show is I might localize them a little bit. I might put the names of local cities in the middle here, or maybe the Toledo skyline. So I'm gonna try to make them very unique to this area. And I can do that with my laser cutter. So you could take this and easily make it your own. Get all wacky and crazy with it. Look up clocks on Pinterest. You're gonna come up with all kinds of wacky ideas. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'd like to thank my Patreon people for all the support that they give me. I got some crazy, crazy news coming up. And when I say crazy, I mean mind-blowing news. Some of you know that I have a podcast with Jimmy DeResta and Bob Clegg. It's called Making It. Next week, we have a superstar guest. I cannot wait to tell everybody who it is. So, I have to keep my mouth shut for right now. So I'm sorry, this is a teaser, but it is mind-blowing. I'm crazy excited. We got new t-shirts coming out any day now. And also I will have the release date for my book. We're gonna do a pre-sale. For the pre-sale, we're gonna have some special pricing, some bulk pricing, plus get the book with some handmade items. We're still working out all the details for the release of the book, but it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be awesome. Thank you guys for all the support that thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking on the Amazon links down below. Thank you for Patreon. Thank you for sharing the stuff on Twitter. I really appreciate it. I have so much fun making these videos because of you guys. I truly appreciate it. So I will see you Thursday because we put out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. So I'll see you soon. Be safe, have fun, and make something.